Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Qigong for Health and Wellness. My name is Susan Churchill. Haha. I'm glad to be here with you today. We are on day 3 of 14 days for life balance. Hi, Lynn. So I was thinking this morning, maybe we need to allow ourselves to make a list of what does life balance mean to each of us. So with that in mind, let's stand with our feet shoulder hip distance apart, or you could sit or lie down. Bring your hands in prayer position and contemplate that as we allow ourselves to connect to the peace from the earth and from the universe and from inside you. And we'll just be here. Elbows out is good. Knees bent if you're standing. Allow yourself to just breathe normally. Whatever is right for you right now is perfect. And bring in peace. And this is actually the practice we're going to be doing the whole day is about peace. Because we're going to be looking into the stomach system, which is the earth element. And the emotion we bring in is peace. So we're going to be we'll have a head start here. So let yourself sink, soften, and feel what peace feels like for you. And when you're ready, start bouncing from the knees as you lower your hands down. Elbows a little bit away from your body. Continuing to bring in peace. So we don't need to, okay, done with peace, next step. Let's continue to be in that column of peace while we wake up our chi in our entire body. Welcome to Friday. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Lily. Hi, Christine. Hi, Maria. Hi, Martha. Happy to see all of you here. Now, notice what's happening as you bounce. And let's scan from the top of our head down and think about as we're bouncing, we're softening, we're releasing tension. So let's start with releasing tension from the top of our head. And maybe, you know how we have a lower dantian, a little light in the lower dantian, right? So let's say hello to our vitality and follow that all the way up and out the top of our head to the middle of the universe and see a beautiful sun there. And then we start to feel the warmth of that sun. So first it's at the top of our head and it's melting tension as it's waking up our entire body. So we're going to come down the forehead. Let's erase those worry lines. And then to the eyeballs, and just the eyes can just kind of sink there. They don't have to be popping out. Worry about anything right now. We're going to allow them to soften to all the muscles around the eyes. Loads of muscles in there. You know, because they help your eye move so you can look around. It's quite fascinating. and come down into the sinuses and the cheekbones and that whole area, and then your ears, and coming down the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, and into the whole mouth and tongue and everything, and your jaw and the throat there, the beginning of the spine coming down in the neck and all. And just allow everything to soften. You're bouncing, you're waking up your chi, you're getting it moving, and you're allowing that peacefulness that we are in. We've put ourselves in this calm of peace to go through inside and soften. Think of where your tongue attaches to your body, and then all the way down the throat, and you got lymph nodes and everybody in there, and the thyroid. Let's love our thyroid. And come down even further to the shoulders, and in your spine you're going to come back down to that C7, and we think about that because we always want to have that soft, because that is a very small area, and that connects the head to the rest of the body. So we need our chi flowing, we need our blood flowing, our nerves to be able to communicate freely. So let's soften that all up, and the tops of the shoulders and down, and you just kind of feel as if that sun is beaming down, warming you up, and you're a candle, and you're just, on the outside of the candle, inside you got the flame, and underneath is the molten wax, and then on the sides they get nice and soft and round. And we're going to let ourselves just feel that as we continue down in the rib cage, your heart and lungs and everybody in there, all the muscles that are connecting your arms to your body. Let's just soften. We're going to do this a lot longer today, as you notice. We'll take our hands over our head, and we'll give that benefit of having our hands over our head too as we're bouncing. And continue that softening. In the bottom of your rib cage, there's that, I believe it's a muscle called the diaphragm, but I may be wrong. I'm not always good with all of that, but that's okay. We know that's a diaphragm. And the diaphragm can hold blockages, energy blockages. And that is the division with the top of the body and the bottom of the body. And also, we've kind of hit this a few times in our practices. The top of the body, there's yin and yang too, the top of the body and the bottom. So that's kind of the cutoff there. So we're going to allow softness to go through there and all the way down into all your internal organs down here. Massive internal organs. Loving all those. Let everything soften as you bounce. And you're coming down the spine too, and the spine and all the muscles and everything connecting. I don't know how we're put together, but it is amazing. And into the bones and bone marrow, and just letting yourself fill with yellow light of peace, coming down through the legs, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the feet, hands and feet, your arms. If you hadn't thought about those, let's bring those in. And we're just all soft. We'll take our hands down to our sides, continuing to feel ourselves in this peace, in a column of peace, and it's running through us. What if we thought about this peace coming in as we breathe in, comes in with the oxygen and the air into the lungs and goes into the bloodstream, and it's zooming all around. That's a lot of peace coming in. And how about from the earth coming up through the bottom of your feet? So now you're kind of like what was that show? Oh dear. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you're in a big column of golden light. And you're just filled with peace. And you might be able to even feel it tingling on your skin or inside somewhere, or your fingertips. Just let everything be loose, and let's even go further. Let's imagine as we're going side to side, right? That we're actually spinning all the way around 360 degrees, maybe a couple times. So we're like a cartoon now. Like, you know, a little cartoon guy, he gets all wet, so then he goes and wrings himself out, right? So think of that. And that's how far. If you imagine that, you're going around and around further and further, and then you come back, and it's so easy, and then you go the other way. Then notice, hey, are you moving a little further, a little easier? And then we'll come back to center, let ourselves unwind. Keep your eyes closed. I hope they're closed. I didn't say that, but the most you can have your eyes closed, the better. But obviously, if your balance is off, you keep your eyes open. And you can do this sitting or standing too if you have a balance problem. But if you can have your eyes closed as much as possible through the practice, that brings your attention internally. See? So that's where we want to go. Hi, Dorothy. All right, so maybe you can just kind of notice if and where peace is directing your attention, with warmth or coolness or tingling or just a feeling of All right, now we'll do our shoulder shrugs and the rest of our active exercises. Shoulder shrugs up to the ears, head back. We'll just do one today because I took a lot longer with that, and I do want to do our healing movement. Breathe, release the shoulders, and pull the shoulders down. And remember, you can come back and do that 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, several times during the day. If you've got stress going on, do it in between. Say, okay, I'm going to take a 2-minute break and do shoulder shrugs and see what happens. All right, clap your hands, stimulating the heart. Cup the inside of the left elbow. And we're not going to worry about anybody else who's not up yet today, and you don't want to, you don't want to disturb them. So if they didn't get up yet and they hear you clapping, that's okay. And if you really want to be kind, then yeah, next time go in the basement or something. However, I'm asking you to be selfish today and to choose yourself first, taking care of yourself. We're cupping the kidneys, we're rubbing with the back of our hands and the palms. We're coming down to the tailbone and tapping. Now, Master Lin, and I wasn't remembering this, says hold your fingers in this position while you do that. So let's do that. Let's remember. Because it's good, better, best, isn't it? Hi, Alicia. And now we'll bring our thumbs in and we'll tap the hip points. So, and he always says that, good, better, best. And so even, I've been doing this for 6 years and I forget the obvious thing, or I don't catch it. I don't catch it. Nobody does. Well, maybe not nobody, but I don't catch it up. And to bring it into every single practice. So that's why it's good to have something like Master Lin's head to toe healing movement. We're coming up on the toes, down on the heels. Avoid this if you're pregnant, otherwise enjoy it. No mega slamming. We're not hurting our spine, but we are doing a little bit so that way we can stimulate the strength in our bones and release any extra energy you no longer need. All right, awesome. So now we'll get into beginning of the universe position. Feet shoulder hip distance apart. Bend your knees, elbows out. Stretch your fingers and toes. Remember, when we focus on the tips of the fingers and toes and we're stretching them, that's stimulating 12 meridians in the body, which go to our 5 organ systems. Release. And that's what we're working on this 14 days, is to be aware of our different systems and how keeping each of them strong helps each other. And that gives us that life balance we're looking for. All right, very good. Bend your knees. Let those shoulders soften entirely. Close your eyes. Sink in to that peacefulness again. If it drifted, tuck your chin in, touch the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth, and switch your breathing to in and out through the nose. So although I didn't say it this time, when we're doing the bouncing, we want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth because it's detoxifying. Now we're talking about our healing, about being into balance, so we have the intention of having our breath equal, in breath and out breath, because that's yin and yang too. And now we say the password Master Lin gave us that helps us to move, to connect our chi field, our energy, our vibration to that of the highest vibration, the divine, the unconditional love of the universe, however you want to call it. And we bring in our intention. So we have an intention for 2 weeks to focus on life balance. And now you connect to what's most divine for you, and you pour in all of your intentions. And if you have anyone else or anything else of concern, you invite them to your practice. So that way, as you are connected, then they are invited into the practice so that they can also benefit from everything that you are doing. And yet you're asking for yourself. I find that I learned that not very long ago. Hello, kitty. From Master Sue Kreitz. And that little distinction, it's not like you're not helping anyone, because you still have your love, and your love sends out and anything like that. But when you're doing your practice, you want to focus on you to fill your cup. Fill our cup so then we can, with the excess, with the leftover, with the flowing through us. So if we continue this is what we're learning. If possible, let's continue to be always filling our cup and always have extra for everybody else. All right. So the movement for this one is we take our hands up from both sides up over our heads. Sorry you couldn't see him unless you saw his tail. Checking time here. Okay, hold your hands up for a sec. Ooh, we've got a good amount of time. All right. So our hands are over our heads like we're holding a giant beach ball. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend the knees and slowly lower down as we breathe in. And we're going to straighten the knees and slowly straighten up as we breathe out. Eyes are closed, spine is straight, tongue touching the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth, tucking our chin in a little bit to align the neck with the rest of the spine. Breathing in, we lower down. Breathing out, we straighten back up. And you do it to your level. So if you can do it with your hands higher than mine, absolutely do so. If you like to bring them up and down as you breathe in, go ahead and do so. If you are better a little lower, then do that. If you can have one hand up and one hand down, then do that. If you cannot possibly have arms up, then you visualize it. You feel it as if your arms are up above your head. And if you're sitting and you can't do the bend the knees, one of our lovelies, it might have been Martha. Was it you, Martha? Anyway, one of our lovelies here said you can lift your your heels up and down. Oh, there was his little tail. Do you see it? You had your eyes closed, so you probably did. Anyway, this is Pringle. We're cat sitting. Grand cat sitting. So breathe in as you lower down, and breathe out as you come back up. Okay, so you got that. It's not hard to remember. It's sometimes hard to hold your arms up. So if you need to bring them down for a few breaths, then go ahead and bring them back up. Be in the peacefulness. So if you're stressing out because you're trying to hold your hands up, that's going to be countering. So do what's right for you so you can still feel and be in that peacefulness. And I'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll just enjoy this for the rest of the time until we harvest. So this is for the element of earth. And the earth element, that means the soil, all right? Not the whole planet. It means the soil. That's the element. And in our body, that's our stomach and spleen and pancreas. So that's the area there. Also, also the muscles, I believe, is part of that. And the color that we associate is yellow. So remember how we were focusing on yellow when we're doing the peace at the beginning? And we're bringing in peace. So if we're bringing in peace, and peace helps to heal the stomach, spleen, and pancreas, then what is the emotion that we call negative that can do damage to these areas? Well, that would be anxiety and overthinking. And probably everyone's been there at some point. It may be something that really is part of your daily life. Or it might be just a fleeting thing. In any case, what if you can realize that if you do this movement, if you do something, anything that helps you to feel peaceful, that can help to release the anxiety. When your eyes are closed, that can really help with the overthinking. Because then your eyes aren't looking around and getting stimulated even more for what's wrong, where's the tiger? Okay, let's continue for another 3.5 minutes. And of course, we're doing this a long time today, so you always can bring your hands down. And if you get to the point where I am not moving anymore, then you just visualize and have your energy body doing it for you, okay? Your chi body. And just focus on peacefulness, and let yourself breathe it in through every cell, tissue, and organ. Yellow light, you're saturated. And okay, so you experience it now by yourself. 45 seconds. One more. Now slowly turn your hands outward and bring them down. And with doing it for as long as we did, you may feel, besides a little ache in your muscles, you may feel resistance. And that is telling you, that's your chi field telling you you cultivated so much peace. So that's the healing exercise for the stomach, spleen, and pancreas from Master Lin's 5-element practice. So allow your hands to come down. We're going to focus on our lower dantian, that's 2 or 3 inches inside the body, behind the navel, and feel as if you're bringing in your whole experience, all the chi. Now it's not taking anything away, so everything is all nice and full of chi, but all this extra chi you cultivate, you want to keep it and use it for yourself, for healing, for your brain power, whatever you need. And we're going to bring it in, plus all the lessons we learned, whether we understood them or not, into the lower dantian, and we're going to give it a spin. Spin, spin, spin. Faster and faster. It gets smaller and brighter and smaller and brighter and even smaller. Maybe it's like a pinprick size, and tuck it, or pin tip, that's what I meant to say, and tuck it deep behind the navel. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Take a deep breath in and out. Feel the breath coming in through the fingertips, through the arms, out the top of the head and back down. Releasing any tension and tiredness. Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So now we just want to soothe ourselves. So we rub our hands together, maybe get some heat in there. And why don't we just place them over our eyes for a moment? Place our hands with our palms over our eyes and send in maybe some green light. So yeah, we worked on peace, but guess what? Green light is for the liver, and the liver system, part of it is the eyes. And all the systems support each other. So give your liver system a little love. And then when we rub our face, we're having some tension, well, pressure a little bit. I think that's the right word, pressure, around the face, and there's all these energy points throughout the face. And you're bringing them to all over the body. And when we cup our head, that's important too. And you can cup the base of your head and bring some more chi into your brain. And then this one we're going to do, we're going to rub our ears top to bottom, pull our earlobes. Try to get all the nooks and crannies around your ears because they're attached to every part of your body. And you can go online and you can look up acupressure or acupuncture points, stuff like that, and how everything is connected to your ears. I'm watching the cat exploring and just waiting for a crash. So if you hear a crash, it's just him knocking stuff off shelves. So together, there you go. Let's bring one giant 10,000 hand breath in. Allow the universe to pour down gifts from the universe to you for your intentions today. Accept the gifts of the universe. Can you hear that? As we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I send you many, many blessings and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Okay, bye.